Hey guys, hope you're doing well, and hopefully you find this little video of some use. I know some are struggling a bit to find pace or even just stay on the track, which is pretty much all of us the other night. She's a pretty brutal one, especially if you do go off, so we definitely want to try to minimise that for the race. Probably the easiest way to do that is, once you do get a pretty solid pace set, try to drive to like 80–90% of that for most of the race, only really pushing it when you absolutely have to. Try and in that way stay on the tarmac, because no one wants to be resetting to the pits or old F4 in their game if they can. But anyway, I'm just going to do 3 quick laps. The first one's going to be pretty slow, just basically going over some basic kind of general advised braking markers, gears for corners, and kind of showing you the racing line that I'm taking. A lot of it advised by Drew, and it's not so crucial the first part of the track, but definitely along those back high speed corners, the back part of the track, it's absolutely crucial. That's where you're going to find most of your time. So the second lap I'll do more of a kind of a race pace for myself type of lap, still call out some of the gears and bits and pieces, and then the third lap I'm going to go an all balls out qualifying lap and see if I can keep it together for the camera. Alright. One other thing to quickly note, I am running a slightly tweaked setup, just pump the gear ratios down a little bit for third, fourth and fifth. I'll pop up an image at the end showing those, but otherwise everything's default. Alright, let's start lap 1, and keep in mind this is the first time I've done this, so please bear with me. Alright, so here's your first braking marker, 200. You gradually want to work your way actually down to the 150 metre mark, braking hard, and you can actually go a bit further past the 150 mark to find a bit more time, but it's gradually, progressively going to get harder to actually keep it straight and stop from locking up and control. So 150 is a pretty good time anyway if you pull it up from there. So braking hard down the second, and it's a pretty standard apex except for the exit, where you want to keep it a bit tighter in to the right here instead of going out to the left as you normally would for most corners. And what this allows you to do is straighten the car up for the next left kink and get a good entry into the right hand turn there. So accelerate hard up to third, braking just after this dip, and roll it in hard, accelerate, braking again, staying in second, roll on the throttle, so staying in second gives you good drive out of the corner, hard accelerate up to third, short change to fourth normally. Quite often you get light coming over this rise, but if you keep it flat in third and change to fourth when you normally would, you'll actually pick up some more time. And then you want to basically head over towards the right here and get ready to dip it into this left-hander. Sometimes you will need to lift the throttle slightly just to get the nose of the dip in, and then hard back on the throttle, and then just feathering the throttle through here just to control any sliding out to the left. But you'd want to try and ride as close to this curb as possible, but without actually touching it, because bad things happen when you touch that curb. And then it's kind of a bit of I actually missed a bit, sorry guys, just rewind it quickly. So these two bushes here, the second last one here is your braking marker for the next corner. So it's just more of a medium brake down to third, and then roll it into the corner. You may need a bit of counter steer. So just roll it through and start getting back on the throttle, and then hard on the throttle up to fourth, heading out to the right over here. And once you start seeing this curb here, you actually want to turn in a bit earlier than you normally think you would to really cut in tight here without touching it again. And what that lets you do is it gets your car over to the left of the next section of track, which helps open up this next corner. Now I didn't quite get over enough here, but in a perfect lap you would be over here, and it really helps you straight line this next corner for maximum speed, where you'll be changing to fifth about here, sometimes mid corner. You can short change to fifth if you need to help dip the nose a bit more if your line's not perfect, and you can slightly cut this corner as well. Next braking marker is this clump of bushes here, or these two red fire extinguishers. So all you want is a quick jab of brake, pull it down to fourth, and then throw it into that right hander there, apexing as close as you can without hitting that inside wall. You may need a little bit of opposite lock as well, and hard back on the throttle. Change up to fifth as you throw it up through this corner, still hard throttle. Now, you want to start braking for this next little chicane right at the bottom of this rise. And then as you get better, just kind of work your way up to starting braking from the end of this white line here. That's a pretty good spot to be braking from for a good time. You can go further past that, but yeah, you're getting very close to the top of that rise where the car gets quite light, so it gets harder and harder to keep it under control and not slide off into Benny's famous hay bale. So down to third, off the brake, roll it in, roll the throttle back on, hard throttle, try and line up this little kink to the right here, try and straight line it for maximum acceleration onto the straight. And that's your basic lap around the Sandevoorde. So this is lap 2. I'm not going to pause it this time, I'm just going to let it run from start to finish, so you can get a good feel for the lap in one go. And I'll just still call out a few gears and bits and pieces, but otherwise, yeah, this is me not trying to go flat out, just get around pretty cleanly at a decent kind of pace. So braking around the 150 mark, down to second, off the brake, roll it in, apex, keep it tight on the exit, hard to accelerate up to third, braking just before the dip, off the brake, rolling through the corner in second, hard accelerate, braking, staying to second, roll the throttle, hard accelerate up to third, short change to fourth, staying to the right, dip it in, slide off the throttle, hard back on, feathering the throttle to manage the slide, braking to third, bit of counter steer, roll it through, hard back on the throttle, up to fourth, out to right, cut it in tight, staying to the left, change to the fifth, cut it in, stab a brake down to fourth, cut it in, using all the track, change up to fifth as I roll it in, still hard throttle, and braking hard, well, not quite hard, but yeah, roll on the throttle and full throttle all the way to the finish line. So I just wanted to come back quickly to the final two corners before the main straight, and basically, yeah, just show that you want to try and straight line them as much as possible to get the best possible braking. That really helps in this instance, because it is braking into two turns and it is going over rise, so it is quite unstable. But if you can, yeah, straight line those corners, that really helps you go a lot deeper and pick up a lot more time. So I'll play back in slow motion and then at real time again. So you can see I've rolled into the corner, and then just as I'm about to hit my braking marker, I try and straighten the wheel up. I've positioned my car so that I've got the most amount of track to brake on as possible before I actually go to turn it into the right-hander one. So you can see I've got about half amount of brake there, put it into third, still braking until I just basically through muscle memory and feel it seems about right to yeah, throw it into the corner. So completely off the brake at that point. Start turning it in, I'm still actually getting a little bit of understeer here, but I know that it's about the right speed. That's at some point it's going to grip up and turn in. So just quickly rewind that and play it back at full speed. Alright, our third and final quality lap. Now, this doesn't look like a balls out lap, but it is in fact my quickest lap to date. And yeah, all I'll say is smooth is fast. But I've included a little bit of bonus footage at the end as well for anyone that would like to see it. Of just some footage from outside the car of both this lap and a bit of the lap before. It just looks pretty cool. So, and yeah, thanks for watching it, and I hope it was helpful in some manner. I'll see you guys on track.